I've made this tariff video before, but I think it's really important to keep correcting the record because the left just has this machine where they'll come up with a slogan, like a one-sentence slogan, and they'll just put it out there over and over again. And one of their slogans is, tariffs are a tax on consumers. Tariffs are a tax on consumers. Well, that's false if taken purely literally. It is not. It is not assessed on the consumer. Now, what they mean by that, the way they can say it's not a lie if they're called on it, is they're assuming that the foreign importer will pass on the cost to the consumer. That is not the same as it being a tax on a consumer. That's like 3 steps down the line and full of assumptions. But when you hear that, you think, oh, I'm being assessed a tax. So, yes, the foreign importer, once they pay this tax, they have a decision to make. They can either raise their prices, which is what the Democrats mean by it'd be a tax on consumer because the price would be higher for consumers. Or they can decide that I don't want to raise my prices because it's going to make me non-competitive. I'm not going to sell as much product. I'd rather just pay this tax and keep selling the same amount of product. And that's all has to do with market forces. That's up to them as a company how to handle their own expenses. That's not a tax on the consumer. Now, let's say they do decide to raise the price on the consumer. That's not great for the consumer, admittedly, but that's actually the entire point, is to make our products made here in America more competitive and bring manufacturing back to America. Because what you may not know is that this theory of free trade we've had over the past 70 years or so wasn't free trade because we were the only ones practicing it. Everybody else had tariffs on us the entire time. We were playing on an unlevel playing field. There was no free trade. And in a lot of cases, what Trump has accomplished by putting these tariffs on is to create actual free trade, where these countries realize that the jig is up and they actually have to give us access to their market. Now, make no mistake, there are other factors involved in an imbalance of trade. The fact that a Chinese person makes like $3,000 a year on average, and therefore their labor costs are like ludicrously low. Yes, that's always going to be a factor. But that doesn't mean there has to also be all kinds of artificial trade cheating going on. And this is what we're trying to fix.